Well, how's it going, everybody? Time for another video, finally. Man, I'll tell you what, has life been absolutely crazy. I know I've said that in every single video I've posted lately, but oh golly. It has been absolutely crazy, folks. Tell you what. But, well, today is March 19th, 2020, or 2020, or the year 20, however y'all want to say it. And it just happens to be my birthday today, so boss sent me home early. Even though we're on full spring craziness at the shop, so most of us don't get to go home early, but hey, I'll take it. Anyway, I just wanted to finally do a video for you guys. I've had a video on this truck here for a little while, just of it running once again. I don't really talk in it, but I'm just going to add that to the end of this video. So if you guys want to see this thing running again, I kind of had it tuned and dialed in a little bit better. I'm going to need to put a fuel pressure regulator on this thing, as this pump, this big old Carter pump, is just shoving way too much fuel into that carburetor, and it is not too happy. So it tends to load up pretty easily, and I think it's just from the amount of fuel pressure. So the reason why is because I've got the exact same fuel pump on this truck, and just finally, I think, fixed my issues today. So I was having, I had a regulator on this, as you guys knew, a long time ago. Well, stupid me didn't realize that the further in you go, the higher your fuel pressure, because in creates pressure, out creates volume. So for years I had, well, not years, I guess for the past couple years I've had this thing cranked in, and I just could never get the pressure to go down. So anyway, just after years of not worrying about it, thinking, well, maybe the gauge is faulty, I put another gauge on there. Let me backtrack again a little bit. As this carburetor, I've noticed this engine tends to load up now that it's getting warmer. It tends to load up when it idles. It kind of drops idle, and it was starting to load up real bad and misfire, and then it would clear up. So I was like, well, this thing is getting too much fuel. And of course, with that 4-barrel, it's a bit overcarbed anyway. But it ran pretty good before with no problems. It would idle all day long. So I put a regulator on it, and all this time later, come to find out, I just had it adjusted wrong. Adjusted it up, way up, and now my fuel pressure sits happily at about 4.5 psi when it's cold, and about 3 pounds when it's hot. Just under 3, about 2.5 pounds when it's hot. So that might actually be a tad bit low, but for this engine, perfectly fine. I'll see if it'll fire up for you. I'm kind of curious if it's fixed my hot start issue. This thing would flood itself out so bad when it was hot that you pretty much have to hold it at full throttle. Also got my parking brake working pretty well. So let's do a hot start. Heck with those cold starts. Let's do a hot start and see what happens. That ain't too bad. So idle right now, 500, and is misfiring a tad bit. That's probably because it's been sitting, so it has a little excess fuel in there. Let's give it a rev or two. There you go. Fuel pressure right now, yeah, it's actually sitting at about 1.5 pounds, so I'm going to need to actually raise the fuel pressure up just a tad. And then I'm going to have to retune the carb. I have the carb tuned for the winter. I ended up richening it up a little bit, but now it's getting warmer out, I'm going to have to lean it out a little bit again. But it doesn't sound too bad. Hear it misfiring a little bit on this bank anyway. It is due for a set of spark plugs, I think. So I'll be doing those here shortly. I've got new valve cover gaskets, exhaust manifold gaskets, and spark plugs on the way, of course, from Napa. But I'm going to get some exhaust manifold gaskets ordered and pull the exhaust manifolds off and probably unscrew them, repaint them. I think I'm going to blast them and paint them again on both sides, because as you can see, a lot of the paint has started peeling off. And do a valve adjustment, put new gaskets on the intake or the valve covers, and yeah, new set of spark plugs. Sometime this year I'm going to do another radiator, because I believe this one's plugged up. This in the heat of summer tends to get pretty hot from what I can see. My gauge, I think, is still a little bit funny, but because I think I need to run a couple ground straps to help create a better ground. But it did seem to be getting hotter than it normally did, so I think another radiator's in the store, and I'm going to end up getting the same one I've got on the 66 over there and convert back to a top and bottom tank. So that's what's going on here. Finally figured out the regulator with that. Now it's going to be time to break into the fuel lines on this and find a place where I want to put a regulator. Pretty sure I'm just going to put it back here by where the fuel pump is. That way it's all in one spot. Like I said, my whole idea with this setup was to keep the engine bay as clean as possible, and that's really what I want to stick to. So as you guys can see, it's going to draw fuel through here and come here. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is put the regulator here, or maybe here. I might put it on the frame, we'll see. The major drawback is, unless I get an inline regulator, the spare regulator I have goes in at a 90, in and then out, or on both sides. So it was going to be in, out, and then a gauge, so I can see what the pressure is, unless I find a way of getting an inline regulator with an adjustment. But these big Carter pumps put out a lot of pressure, man. It's crazy. Anyhow, so I'm not going to fire this thing up again until I get a regulator for it, because I don't want to damage that carburetor if I haven't already, because of the amount of fuel pressure. So hopefully it's okay, and hopefully that'll fix a lot of my issues on that. And on this note, this old girl's been running like a champ, except her starter is taking a crap. So I've got a new starter on order and some more battery cables. I'm gonna make some more battery cables, so hopefully that all gets fixed. Other than that, been an awesome truck. So yep, well, that's the update for you. Nothing crazy going on, but we've been having great weather and somewhat warm days, so gonna have to get off my lazy butt here and start working on these body panels again, get this hood finished, and even better, start getting some hardware and get this engine finished up as far as the fine tuning, so I can start putting some front body panels on, lining them up, and get that radiator mounted back. And yeah, get some windows, doors, get the doors started. I gotta find a door on this side, the driver's side, because it's damaged up there, and I don't know if I can fix that, or I might see if I can have someone fix that. This door here, I gotta finish taking apart, and then get the bed going. And guys, this old girl's gonna be a driver, so time and money, that's always what I seem to be looking for. Well, I'm gonna give Crustine a bath there, and maybe adjust that fuel pressure regulator a little bit more and get a tad bit more fuel pressure back. And we will catch you on the next one. So y'all take it easy. Hope you're having a great week, and we'll see you later.